Carson and Max, are those two guys who are competing for that closing role right now?
No, we got enough guys. Now that Hageman's not back there, we got about 3 or 4 options back there, so it turns into a matchup situation. Carson was throwing great, but with the lefty up there to finish the game, he's not as good against lefties, and Max is throwing as good as he has all year. So both Max and Carson are coming in throwing 95 miles an hour. So really encouraging to know that in big moments you get their best stuff. So those guys will probably be in that role the rest of the season.
Thoughts on Derrick's performance today?
Wasn't as sharp as normal, I didn't think, but one thing you can count on that dude is he's going to compete on every pitch of the whole game. And, it's okay to give up runs with him on the mound because he's done everything right to prepare himself for that position that he's in. So, and the guys know that. We always play good defense behind him. The games usually go pretty quick because he's a strike thrower, but he's always just fun to watch, And the plays he makes on defense are just he can change the game with how he fields his position too.
Kind of feels like we ask you this every time Derrick pitches, but his ability to go long, what does that do to the confidence of this team, knowing, I guess, just if you get one run on the board, it feels like it's going to be enough?
Yeah, I think they know that if we have to use guys in relief on Friday, they know for the most part they're going to get a day's rest before we're going to need them again. And that allows them to prepare a little bit differently. If Derrick can give you 100-plus pitches, you don't have to – I don't think we've thrown anybody in back-to-back games yet this year. And a lot of that is because of what Derrick does. And that's why Max and Carson are throwing as good as they have all year right now, is because Derrick has done what Derrick's done, and they haven't had to pitch too much out of the pen.
As far as Derrick goes, when he's kind of getting up there in that pitch range of 120, 125, do you have a limit of where he can't go past, or is it kind of a feel thing based on a start?
It's a feel thing. It's not easy to do that every time out, and he does it every time out. But he came off the field in the 7th, and as he was running off the field, he looked at me and said, I got one more in me, I got one more in me. So when a guy like that says that, I trust his opinion, and he did. He throws his heart out there and gives you all he's got.
Coach, a year ago, Kyle West is playing Division II baseball. A year later, he's now leading your team in home runs. That statement surprised you at all?
Had you asked me that in the fall, yeah, I'd say yes, but he's come so far, and that's the difference in Division II to Division I. You don't just jump in and have success. You got to learn how to have success, and all credit goes to him because not only is he a better hitter, he's a better runner and a better thrower and a better eater and a better sleeper, and he has dived into our resources and our culture, and that's why he's doing what he's doing, because he's using everything that we offer these kids to the nth degree, and that's why he's getting better all the way around.
Obviously, he's an in-state kid, so does that play a role in the fact that, he catches your eye, or was there something else? I don't know how many D2 guys you look at.
All of them.
Okay, all right.
But he had 22 or 23 homers, so everybody around the country that gets on the computer and types in transfer portal knew that Kyle West was available. But my coaches did their thing and recruited him, and since he's an in-state kid, he takes a ton of pride in being here, and every time he plays, he's got 20 or 30 people in the stands, and our fans usually gravitate toward West Virginia kids, and it's kind of fun to see what he's doing for them and what they're doing for him. It's just it seems like it's a match made in heaven.
A little bit of that because you saw him in person.
Yeah, he played against us a couple years ago, and we're not going to make a decision off that game, but he had a good summer in the Northwoods League and hit some homers, and we knew it was going to take a little while, but the transformation he's made is just incredible.
So seriously, if you're looking at all D2 kids, and obviously there's 800,000-900,000 D1 kids in the portal, that's a lot of guys you look at over the course of one off season.
Oh yeah, that's what the portal is.
Yeah.
It's just it's so loaded with people. You just gotta, if you take a day off from the portal, you miss kids. So the assistant coaches are up there every day, just tracking kids that, number one, are in the portal. Number two, looks like they might get in the portal, and so as soon as they do, you got to jump on them quick, because everybody out there is doing what we're doing with these portal kids. So you're automatically recruiting against a ton of schools.
And had you looked at him at all coming out of high school, out of Hedgesville?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
The Coach Sabins, I think, knew who Kyle was, but he needed that couple years of transition to do what he did, and he saw. He bridged that gap and saw that D2 pitching, and now he's seeing D1 pitching. If a kid like that comes straight here out of high school and gets overmatched for a year or two, you lose confidence, and he might get in the portal from here instead of get in the portal to come here. So, yeah, it's just that portal changes things, man. You don't win the portal, you don't win the games. I've said that 100 times.
I'm curious. You talk about guys, or on the coaches, I should say, tracking the portal almost every day. When you first came here, what was the thing that you guys were tracking almost every day that wasn't the portal? Was there something outside of the program that you guys were tracking?
Yeah, we had to hang our hats on how we develop kids. We weren't winning recruiting battles against hardly anyone back then. So, those early guys, the Darius Hills and Pudge and Manoa and those guys, Manoa was here in 2019, but we recruited him in 2014 and 2015, not long after we got here. So at that time, you're just hanging your hat on trying to develop young kids into good players. And once we did that and established the culture that we have in our program, then you start winning games. And now all of a sudden you have, you're getting better kids to add to that culture. But, this is alumni weekend, and we've got a bunch of kids back that were on that first team of ours, 2013 or whatever it was when I got here. That team there really set the tone for what we're doing now. What that team was made of. Now, listen to this now. In 2013, our first year in the Big 12, Harrison Musgrave was on that team. He threw 5 straight complete game shutouts on Friday night in the Big 12. He single-handedly changed the standings for us to finish third in our first year. We had the top 3 hitters in the Big 12 in year one. Billy Fleming, Bobby Boyd, Ryan McBroom finished 1, 2, and 3 in the Big 12. If not for that, this transformation probably would have taken a lot longer than it actually did. But to have that success with those kids that we didn't recruit, they were in place. Those guys were Mountaineers when I got here. And to see these kids back now, those guys and the alums that were here today, the '94 team that won the last championship, and those guys set the tone for where we are now. It's nice to make them proud of what we're doing now. I've always tried to reach out to them and let them know how much I appreciate what they've done for this program, because without them, we're not where we are.
You sweating out that last video review, or you're pretty confident that
I'm rarely confident, but I've said in the past that has turned into the most exciting play in baseball, waiting for the umpires to come out of the video room. So you never know, but I wasn't too happy the amount of time they spent in there. It looked pretty cut and dried to me that JJ caught the ball, but when they're in there for so long, I think they're looking for reasons to overturn something. So, but I was pretty confident. I actually gave my microphone away to our director of ops before they came out of there, because I saw the play pretty clearly.
Good.